Hello.
Yo.
We're here.
We are here.
And we're not playing games for the first time in like maybe 2 months.
Can you believe it?
Basically, since Helldivers 2 came out, we have done nothing but play games instead of actually podcasts.
Gamers.
Yeah, dude. Gamers playing games. Who would have thunk? So, anyways, yeah, we made it. Tim is still setting up a little bit.
Yeah, more than a little bit.
More than a little
A
bit.
lot.
Did
He's
you
setting
blue
up a
screen
lot.
it all today?
Did I? No.
Nice.
I love the initial confusion. Did I what?
Well, I'm setting up, so I immediately started thinking about. You said that, and my brain was like, "Did I? I'm not using a green screen. What's he talking about?"
Yeah, no.
Listen,
Linda.
Linda. Listen.
I really need to get the music fixed in my OBS because we haven't been able to play the music in a hot minute, and that opening thing is a jammer.
True.
I absolutely love it.
Alan in the chat. Hey, Alan.
What's going on, Alan?
We absolutely love Alan.
We do. Oh,
Yep.
The mic change is amazing.
Yeah. I'm now using my A50Xs, but over Bluetooth still, because I still haven't been able to. I'm having an issue, not with blue screen, just like with my computer audio.
Not blue screen, but with Bluetooth.
Yeah.
I got
Well, no, not Bluetooth. It's not. You have double audio?
Yeah, because I brought up the Twitch or whatever.
Double.
And then, because I was actually watching somebody on Twitch. I watched my mechanic
Double the
on
audio,
Twitch
double the fun.
or whatever.
That's right. Your mechanic streams.
Yeah, dude, he's absolute insanity. I think I told you guys last night. Like, I'm sitting there and we were talking, and I was watching him stream, and he had like 18 black dragons on Minecraft, like flying around him.
Oh yeah.
And he had nothing in his inventory. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, how did we get here? I don't know. Anyways.
Are you ready for the mic to change again?
Sure.
Yep. Lay it on us.
There it is.
Oh,
Whoa.
that is bad.
Nice.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We're just going through steady improvement on my microphones right now.
Yeah, we are.
That's right.
Like
This is
100%. Jesus.
the roller coaster go up.
Well, anyways, all right. So, like, let's get into this a little bit because I know we want to get to the Xbox piece. First of all, congratulations to all Helldivers on your real life mission this past weekend, where you basically cyberbullied Sony into submission, which is the only time I've ever seen cyberbullying used for good.
Yo, hello Banana69, rating with a party of 4.
Hey,
Thanks, buddy.
What's going on, DJ?
Hi.
Thank you.
What's up, brother?
Literal brother. Oh man.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to see the Helldivers community come together and be like, Sony, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah. Well, and to be fair, like the big reason why that happened is because people were not able to make that decision beforehand because they all tried to like retroactively change their shit. Right? Oh god. I brought up the Helldivers page to see, and I forgot I had the video thing on. It's back up to 68% for recent reviews.
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
You know, Sony came out with their statement, and people were like, all right, let's turn our reviews back for now.
Yeah, I actually put a review on
Don't
there.
fuck it up.
I didn't have one before.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because like I don't generally review games, but I was like, oh, you know what? Shit got fixed. It's a good game. Like it's not the devs' fault, but they didn't help the situation. Right? You know? They didn't communicate.
The
very
community
well.
manager who is now fired didn't help the situation.
No, he didn't help it either.
He kind of did help it by saying, hey guys, if all of you write negative reviews for our game, that will give us fuel to fight Sony.
Yeah,
you also can't say that though as a community manager.
Well,
sure. But I mean, that was pretty cool.
You can't say that.
Cool. It was cool. But you want to know what really pushed it over the edge, right? Everybody knows. Is when Steam started giving people refunds regardless of playtime. Like that was basically Steam. I don't know. I felt like Steam just kind of like flexed their muscles. They're like, bro, we don't fucking need you here. We're not going to ruin our reputation because you're making a fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, they're just like, get out of here.
That was a huge aspect of it. Because Sony, I mean, I think they could just weather negative reviews, no big deal.
Yeah.
But when you see people are like just like getting their money back for their game left and right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how many, like, I never saw anything about, like, how many refunds were actually, like, approved, but it was apparently enough, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, so now it's like the game was delisted in a bunch of countries that didn't have availability to make PSN accounts.
Yeah.
And those, I believe, those countries still have the game delisted, even though Sony said that they're not moving forward with that requirement. So that's kind of the next step, is we want to see those games available, Helldivers available in those regions again.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Man. Like
I think I made 3 fucking videos about the thing, one of which was obsolete the second I posted it, so that was cool. But I said in one of them that it's a win, and we should celebrate, but also, is this like, are they walking back this policy moving forward? Like they're not going to do it? Or is this
a 4th player has entered?
That's what I'm saying.
TJ,
but like,
you're messing up my cameras.
I mean, in Discord.
Oh, he is muted in Discord. What the hell was I going to say? Yeah, they're still moving forward with the policy overall, though, because Ghost of Tsushima is already they've already come out and said hey, if you want to play Legends mode, you got to have a PSN account. Which
I'm just curious, if they how long they wait to really start pushing this out in every game at launch. Because it's going to be for Legends. They said it's going to be there. The FAQ still says that it's. Some games may require, but I think the example I use is if they ever do, what the hell was, what was their Halo killer? Killzone?
Oh, yeah.
If they ever do another Killzone, is that going to be there, right off the bat? Because I think if it had been there right off the bat, there's over 100 companies or countries that wouldn't have been able to buy the fucking game, which is wild that you would limit your own audience like that. But additionally, would it have been such a thing? I don't think people would have been as upset, to be honest.
They wouldn't have been upset if it was a requirement from the jump,
right?
You know what I mean? Where consumers could make a legitimate decision. Did he leave? Oh, he did leave. I'm over here changing cameras around and shit for nothing. Shit. I love you, TJ. What the hell I was gonna say? Yeah, I think that was really the blunder, is that just them trying to retroactively be oh, hey, our PlayStation Network accounts. From what I've heard, I didn't actually go look at this, but I need to. From what I've heard is that the overall PSN accounts have been kind of declining a little bit, and so they might have been looking at this as a way to pump them numbers up a little. You know what I mean? And then retroactively trying to add this in. You're just not gonna the PC community does not care, because they have no they don't need to be in your ecosystem to do what they want to do generally. You know what I mean? So it just made zero sense from the jump for them to try and retroactively do it. Well, in a forcing manner. I saw a lot of people come out saying, "Hey, they could have done this by being hey, if anybody who links their PSN account, you get these cosmetics." And it's not a forced option kind of thing, then they probably would have got a lot more traction, which is probably true. You put a shiny thing in front of a gamer and they normally want to go for it kind of thing. So
yeah, definitely.
So yeah. But yeah, just congratulations to all the Helldivers players out there that participated in the review bombing of Helldivers 2 to tell Sony to get fucked with their craziness.
Got them.
Yeah, they did get them. You know who else got this week, though, is those fucking Xbox studios. That's who got this week. Bro, yeah. I try to just not go off about this because it makes me so mad. Tim, did you get a chance to see what Matt Booty said today? You have no audio.
And we can't hear you.
I can't hear you.
I don't know how I got muted. Okay, I was literally muted in Discord. No, I didn't get a chance to follow. The last thing I saw was the Reddit post that you saw, and I haven't been able to verify this at all. The one about Like most of the core talent from Tango actually was already thieved by Shinji when he apparently started a new studio, which I didn't think was a thing.
That was just like a Reddit thing, but it has been debunked. Jez Corden came out and said it, and then some other people have come out and said it since then. So that has been completely debunked.
Okay, because I was like, that's wild if that's true, because that also completely changes the narrative. Like if they didn't fire the core talent, that's different.
Yeah. But Matt Booty came out today, and I love how everybody's laughing in the Twitch chat about Matt Booty. I fucking love it.
He's clapping cheeks.
Yeah, I mean, look, he might have to be doing that to make some fucking money after this. He came out and said, I don't want to misquote it. I made a fun meme about it in the chat, and I even put it in the Olip Twitter. Oh, where's my
brother?
My Discord is.
I don't check Twitter when I'm at work.
No, I know you don't. This is gonna fuck up the cameras, but I just want. He said, "Fuck is it? We need smaller games that give us prestige and awards," said Matt Booty, head of Xbox Game Studio. He said it today.
Yeah.
Today. Yeah. The day after just closing down the fucking
You're peeking
studio.
The fuck out of your mic. You are. It's cutting you off so bad.
I'm so mad. I'm so pissed because it.
Hang on. He said that today.
Today.
Yeah.
Today.
That's what's so bad about it.
Did he really?
Yes.
Okay. There's Matt. You're never going to see this video. I almost guarantee it, but I'm going to put it on YouTube Shorts on the off chance that you do. There's this thing. It's called, what's the word? Self-fucking awareness. Can you get some, please? The timing is so bad.
You want to know what makes this even worse? What makes it even worse?
Shit.
I went and I looked. So Jeremy's pointing out, he said it in a town hall to the employees. Yeah, it's so bad.
Let's lay off our Game of the Year nominee studio while talking of that's from, oh, by the way, one of our smaller studios, a subsidiary of a subsidiary. Let's lay them all off and then tell the rest of the company we need small games from small teams that bring us prestige and awards. Dude, what are you doing, man?
Dude, and here's the worst part. I went and looked at this after I saw this. Because there's so many levels to this, right? Of why this is bad. I went and looked, and I used OpenCritic as like the metric that I went and looked at this. If you had to guess, out of all the first-party Xbox games that have come out this generation, where do you think Hi-Fi Rush ranks? Anybody? No, Justin knows the answer.
I know.
Yeah. What did you say, Tim?
Number one, it's got to be.
No, so it's actually not. I thought the same thing, but that's because you want to know what games are above it? Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Okay.
And Forza.
That checks out. Actually, Flight Sim checks out.
Yeah.
I always forget. Everybody forgets about Flight Sim. It is one of their most popular games.
Sims. Like the general gaming audience, like the sim. You want to talk about niche? You have your hardcore gaming audience, and then it shrinks. If you talk about Flight Sim, it's such a niche thing that like people don't think about.
It's a niche within a niche.
Yeah. So literally, the only video game that is not some kind of simulator in the entire Xbox Series X era, the best one is Hi-Fi Rush, and they fucking canned the studio that was also in the process of pitching the sequel.
That's crazy. Can I say something that's a hot take that I think you're going to disagree with me with? I think the other three are not nearly as big a deal. I think as much as I am an Arcane Studios stan, I have said for a very long time, Arcane makes bangers.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking love Arcane. I'm going to start with that. But Arcane Houston only ever put out 2 games without Leon, and the one good one they ever put out. Sorry, did I say Houston? Austin. Arcane Austin only ever put out 2 games after Leon and Austin separated, because they were one studio with 2 offices for a very long time. Then they became Arcane Austin and Arcane Leon. Leon has put out all the Dishonored games. Leon put out Deathloop. Leon puts out their like award-winning games. Austin put out Prey, but they had heavily worked with Leon because they actually split during the development time. And by the way, Prey certified like great fucking game, undersold criminally so. It's an amazing game. It didn't review well when it came out, and people were mad that it wasn't like the original Prey, but Prey is fucking great. But the other one they put out was Redfall, which is the worst, probably Cody, you were just saying the best Xbox game of this generation that's not a sim is Hi-Fi Rush. Redfall is the worst game of this generation on either of the two home consoles.
Well,
for first party.
Yeah, because there's also Crossfire
not
X
including
that's still out there. You know what I mean? Don't forget about that fucking nightmare that was apparently a video game.
That was awful.
You know what I mean? So
Chinese CS:GO, but worse somehow.
It was so bad. I do want to say, you know what the worst part is about the Prey piece is that I looked at it today. They sold 1.3 million. Like, that's
over time. Yeah, it sold like, really bad at release though.
Well, that's the same thing as like Death Stranding though, right? Like Death Stranding didn't sell great on release, but like as people got their hands on it, I looked at it. I've actually had this discussion with Justin, my cousin. Not this Justin, because this Justin loves Death Stranding. I'm the weird one.
I would have just assumed because Kojima that it would have sold like hotcakes.
No, I mean it ended up selling 10 million, but I guess like on launch it didn't meet Sony's sales expectations. I guess that's probably the better way to put it, is that it didn't meet expectations. So, oh, TJ's back. You muted yourself?
I did it on purpose. I wasn't sure.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead, bud. That's boring. Sorry.
Sorry, I had the Twitch stream up as well, so I had to mute that real quick.
Yep.
I just can't believe that Matt Booty said that shit today, of all fucking days.
Yeah.
Zero optics from that guy.
Oh, dude, it's so bad. Like I just can't. I can't imagine standing there listening to him talk and then those words just like spill out of his mouth and I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like what you just equivalent you by what they did yesterday. They basically said Redfall, Hi-Fi Rush, same boat, get the fuck out of here. Like what are we doing, dude? Like I just I don't get it. I don't. And there's more to this. There's way more to this. He also said that part of the reason why they closed these studios down and the reason why they closed down some of these studios is because they felt like they were spread too thin. And he equated it to having like peanut butter spread across toast. Weird analogy. I get what he's saying.
So, okay, he just tried to go Lord of the Rings on it.
Yeah, he didn't go Bilbo.
No.
Come on.
Like,
well, you gotta go Bilbo.
Frodo.
Dude, my whole thing about that is like you are a $3 trillion company, and you just posted 20%, like plus 20% profits in this past quarter. Like what are we doing?
Hang on, did Microsoft post 20?
Did.
Okay.
Microsoft did. Because Xbox doesn't have its own like share.
They
you know what I mean?
Well, they do internally. They have their own reporting, but we don't get all of that publicly because they're
we can talk about that too. Xbox without Activision year over year, software wise, would be negative 5% if they didn't have Activision. With Activision, they were up 62%.
I mean, that's why they bought them.
But everything since they bought Activision, which I thought would be a good move, everything they've done since they bought Activision has been negative. They laid off 1,900 people, and then they turn around and they close one of their best small studios, right? That outperformed your Starfield that was supposed to generate all these Games Pass subscriptions, which we found out recently is a fucking lie. Didn't happen. Because apparently Game Pass subscription growth hasn't grown really at all since 2021. Like there's just
It's true.
there's so much in these 3 articles. If you guys don't know, Tom Warren and Jeremy, it was the monkey paw. It was the monkey paw. Tom Warren put out 2 articles today, and then Jason Schreier put out 1. You have to read them because the amount of ineptitude that is happening at the higher leadership levels of Xbox at this point is insane to me to start with. And and on top of this, they're trying to like say that, oh, but we have this really good gaming lineup at the end of the year, right? Because they got like Indiana Jones is supposed to come out, Stalker is supposed to come out sometime this year. There's a decent list. I think Avowed's scheduled to come out this year.
Don't forget, Fallout 4 is getting a new free update.
Yeah, I think they got the free update.
You know that game, yeah, I think that was like last month, but it's still like they're still pushing it because of the show.
Oh yeah,
no,
100%.
it was, it was like last week.
Oh, was it? Okay, yeah. So,
or 2 weeks ago now. 2 weeks ago.
The article I pulled up
by the way,
from April 11th.
Stalker, Cody, Stalker. A lot of people think Stalker first party. Stalker is just exclusive.
Oh,
it's third party.
Really?
They don't own the Stalker studio.
Well, I will give them this. They've done a lot of support for that studio, so like I can't like hem them up.
At least I don't think they own it.
I thought they did. I could be wrong.
I don't think they own.
But did you guys hear about the Brocula? Oh, it's coming. It came out yesterday apparently on Xbox. Brocula. It's like Bro Dracula. Embark on an epic journey as Brocula, a vampire awoken from a 500-year slumber in a world unrecognizable to him. Stripped of his wealth, he must navigate the daunting maze of capitalism, taking on part-time jobs at the local garage, coffee shop, and restaurant to earn a meager living. Apparently, it's got 4.5 stars out of 5 reviews.
So it's doing pretty well, and that means they're going to shut down the studio.
Yeah, this getting shut down tomorrow. I'm pretty sure.
Well,
GSC Game. Sorry, not to.
No, you're good.
GSC Game World not owned by Xbox.
Okay.
Xbox has been providing a lot of support because it's a console exclusive and they're in Ukraine and everything that's happening with Ukraine.
Oh,
because it's a Ukrainian studio. Yeah.
Is that like the "I'm Your President" by Ultimate Games SA?
I have no idea what you're talking about with this.
That one came out today, I guess, but it's for PC gaming, but on the Xbox Wire.
Yeah, so
that's from last week. Mike Nelson, is that Major Nelson?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I never really followed him, but that leads me. You guys are leading me right into the other thing. Is like Obsidian, right? Obsidian has released 2 bangers this console generation, right? They got Grounded. They had a smaller team on Grounded. It was only like 12 people. They got the early access thing going, and they were able to build that thing up, and it was great. And then you had Pentiment that came out. Also, critically, much like Hi-Fi Rush, critically was seen as a huge success, right? I think it's like the 5th best game just by using OpenCritic. I don't know. I have the list. I have a fucking list here. Anyways,
it's up there.
Yeah, it's what is it? It's like the 6th or 7th. It's behind Halo and Starfield. But anyways, that came out, right, and got full support, even though it probably didn't sell super well, right? Because I mean, I still haven't even played it. I thought it was cool. So those games came out. If Avowed, right, their biggest leap, basically this generation, doesn't do great, what the fuck happens to Obsidian?
I think Obsidian has more leeway. Not that they should, but I think they do because of previous commercial success. Because if you go back, you got New Vegas, you've got the Outer Worlds. Like last generation, Obsidian killed it, and last generation, while Tango made some really good games last generation, they didn't do super well, and it took a very long time for The Evil Within to be considered good by people at large. Like I remember people when it first came out, because Shinji Mikami was attached to it, people are like, this isn't as good as Resident Evil. It's like, no, it's different.
Right.
It's a very different game, but like I loved The Evil Within, but it took a while for them to be recognized as a decent studio. And that studio ever only put out 4 games, period. There was Evil Within, Evil Within 2. There was Ghostwire Tokyo, which was a pretty big flop commercially, although much like The Evil Within, the longer time goes on, the more that game is appreciated, which is interesting.
That game is higher rated on OpenCritic than Minecraft Legends, by the way.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah, it wasn't for a long time. Like for a long time, people were like, "It's just bad," and now the longer it's out, the more that score goes up because people are it's a weird game. I'm not saying it's not, but
the problem with looking at their past successes like that in this era of Xbox is that it doesn't account for Game Pass. Game Pass is supposed to make them like game selling agnostic. Like they should, like they have pushed this whole vibe and theory that they don't really care about the game sales because they want you to be able to play anywhere. They want you to be able to play it on your phone or your TV. Yeah. They want you to be able to play on your phone or your TV or I don't know, on your toilet, like whatever. They just want you to be able to play the fucking game. It's not about sales. Subscribe to Game Pass, play the fucking game. Like that's what's supposed to matter. Hi-Fi Rush reached 3 million people. Doesn't matter, right? I'm not sure how many like Pentiment and them reached. I'm sure it's little bit smaller because it was like as critically acclaimed as it was. You know, it's very niche. Like Hi-Fi Rush is like, you know, it's like a 6-hour thing, and you know, it's kind of like cool and all this other stuff. Anyways, but like they pushed this theory, right? And I saw something yesterday. I forgot to put this in the chat. There was apparently an email from Phil Spencer back in 2021 that he said that they have never closed a studio due to profit and loss analysis. There was like loss of leadership or loss of passion from the studio is what they said.
True.
Right?
Which is like it's harder to be objective with that because those are both more subjective based things.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
but I can tell you this: Obsidian has 7 open positions and they are hiring.
Well, and it's just with that though, it's just like, okay, if you've never fired people for profit and loss, then what are we doing? How can you win a BAFTA and get your entire studio canned? Like it doesn't make any like nothing that they're doing makes sense. And then on top of all this, after all this negative press that they got, everybody started bringing up Hellblade. They're like, oh, Hellblade's in the same boat. Comes out in a couple weeks, has had no marketing, even though Aaron Greenberg said that there was going to be marketing, has had no real marketing to this point, and it comes out in 13 days, something like that. To the point where hold on,
no one knows.
Hold on. Like this got so crazy today that Aaron Greenberg came out. I put the tweet in the chat. He came out and he was like, hey, we started the marketing today. Look, we're in Iceland doing this thing. Oh, you should start getting your YouTube videos, blah, blah, blah. Like, the negative sentiment is so large that they're having to answer about their marketing campaign for a video game. For a video game that we all know is not going to sell. It is a digital-only release on Game Pass. It's not going to sell a lot of copies.
No, I'm going to scoop the free one.
Right. Like most people will, right? Like that's if you have Game Pass, why the fuck would you buy it? I'm weird. I bought Manor Lords, even though I have Game Pass, because I really like Manor Lords.
True.
I really like the idea and stuff. Yeah.
Manor Lords hits.
Yes.
I did play it on Game Pass.
Yeah.
But that was enough for me to like go down a rabbit hole of watching some dude fucking finish it.
Right.
And it's like I'll fucking do it again.
Yeah, Manor Lords.
I'll do it again.
Yeah. So and they're talking about in the Twitch chat. There, Gizzard.
Oh, true.
Is that Gizzard forever? Is that how you say
I
that?
think it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Or Gizzard for Ev.
Yeah.
Or Eve. Gizzard Eve.
I'm worried about Ninja Theory, Double Fine, and the Initiative. Perfect Dark. Double Fine. By the way, when I was doing my little deep dive on like what are the best games in this. Psychonauts is after Hi-Fi Rush. They're actually tied, I think. I'd have to look again. Also, smaller studio, right? I think they got 89s on OpenCritic. But are they even gonna be allowed to finish their next game? Like, you know what I mean? Like, who knows? And then, oh my god, Gizzard, you're the fucking best because you're just leading me on here. I love you right now. And then on top of all this, right? So you're worried about Ninja Theory and all that kind of stuff. Then on top of all this, in one of these articles it comes out with, they don't know what the fuck they're doing with Call of Duty. Right. They spent $70 billion and don't know if they're putting it on Game Pass or not. With a B. I'm peaking, but
Gray Zone.
Yes,
like $34.99. It's got mixed reviews. Why? Because it's the same shit we've been getting since we were lads.
Yeah. Oh, it's also early access. To be fair to them, I heard there's like some AI issues and stuff right now. But
I was looking at the trailer; it looked a little rushed.
Yeah. I've watched. You should watch. Do you watch Operator Drewski?
I've seen a couple of highlights. Yeah.
Okay.
But
So
I don't regularly
watch YouTube for like Milsim stuff. He's really good. Does really good breakdown and stuff like that. He's not like Shroud level for FPS, but he's just like. He's like your bud that you play Milsims with. I don't know. I really like. He's good. Good. He's a good guy.
The one that it's like how Shane teaches me how to fish.
Yeah.
Like Shane might as well be the Milsim guy.
That's true.
That's true. There's no way to put it on the GP day one. That's big factor.
Yeah, Justin, I'm ranting. I'm really just like going off here. Like, what are your thoughts,
that's good. I think. I hope they don't fucking shutter Ninja Theory.
Right?
I kind of want to circle back to one thing you said though, Cody.
What's up?
You said Phil Spencer had said that they had never closed a game a studio due to profit and loss.
I don't know.
Due to leadership loss.
Yeah.
So how large?
Yeah.
Right. How large does Shinji Mikami? I thought he retired, but then there was the whole thing that they posted today about a new studio. I don't know if he actually started a new studio or not. I'm gonna have to look into that.
I don't.
It's like when Goku dies. Goku's gonna come back.
The whole thing that makes me think that maybe that he would have is I'm pretty sure that's how he left when he left Capcom was he retired and then he came back to start Tango and then. I think Tango was like his baby, and then he left it in what was it? Was it December? I feel like it was their showcase, and it was the Bethesda showcase thing that they did, where they went through all the Bethesda studios. That Shinji announced that he was leaving, that he thought that the studio was in good hands moving forward, that there's young developers there, and then what? So they were pitching the sequel to Hi-Fi Rush. What did they show Xbox? Like what? So I'm curious how large. I know, but like my point is, I'm curious how large that loomed in the decision. Like his absence. I don't know.
I understand why you're saying that, and you're playing devil's advocate. I don't think it's fair at this point to be like, what did they show Xbox? Because they probably don't. Like it would be so early in development. It'd basically be concept at this point,
right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And so like. What, like, you're going to can them for that after they just gave you your best fucking game in the past 4 years? Like, it just doesn't,
that's
like,
crazy.
There's literally no leeway for success. And that's, like, if I was a developer for Xbox and really any of them right now, because something else we haven't really touched on is how the fuck can this game get a BAFTA and 343 can't even put out a proper Halo game, which is the entire flagship of Xbox, and
it's also the only reason 343 exists.
Like,
right?
To be fair to Halo Infinite, it is 86 on OpenCritic, which did surprise me. I enjoyed Halo Infinite, right? But overall, people fucking hate that game. Like, and they never came back to it, even after it's because like right now it's in a good spot. Nobody's coming back to it, and they're winding down support for it anyways. They got rid of seasons or some shit. And they're doing something like a smaller scale thing. Like, but they have fucked up Halo 3 times in a row. Like, when do they get canned? Give it to id. Like, they have way better FPS studios. Yeah, right. But they have way better FPS studios, and they just we're not gonna anyway. That's like a whole different rabbit hole. But there are other studios that have been given more chances. You good?
You scared the fuck out of me.
It's
You
scary,
can't see her because it's all blurred out. But all I saw you could see the little
Orange.
fan on the other
Yeah.
PC, right? You can see that behind me. All of a sudden, I just saw that get like that.
Now
It's just darkness. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's just Sarah grabbing a little massage thing that I have on the table over here. That's all that is.
Jump scare.
But it scared the shit out of me because all of a sudden I'm like,
Michaela-
I'm about to be murdered.
She's your ninja.
Yeah.
That's not the
Don't
first
worry
time
about
we've done
getting
that on the
shuddered.
podcast either, by the way.
And see, now Michaela's going to come home and be like, why are the vibes off? And it's like, oh, I just don't want to scare you.
But
Anyway, God damn.
So you got the 343 thing, and then Jeremy said it earlier. I agree with Jeremy. I thought that when they bought Activision, it was all about. Well, I will say
Game
this.
Pass.
It was all about Game Pass. I don't think they're allowed to put this Call of Duty on Game Pass.
They're not. They can't because
They
their
can't.
agreement with Sony.
Right.
The whole. What we're
every other
leaving-
Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Well, moving forward, they have an agreement with Sony that not only will Sony continue to get Call of Duty for X amount of time, but I think the unannounced part of that is, and I don't think they want to say it because they don't want to not have people get Game Pass in anticipation of Call of Duty, but I don't think they're going to put this one on Game Pass day one, maybe next year. But also remember how they said we weren't going to. There was all this hype about how Xbox was not going to have annualized Call of Duty. They were going to get full development cycles for Call of Duty moving forward. And what have we seen since then? They released one last fall. They're releasing one this fall. Fucking annualized Call of Duty is still a thing. Cool.
Fuck it, we ball. That's a Call of Duty Modern Warfare mindset. Doesn't matter if it's Call of Duty MW2.
Well, this one's going to be Black Ops.
And see, Black Ops brings us into a perfect segue of the Christmas noobs. Do you not remember that Black Ops message? It must have been 2010, 2011, 2012, that era. I was still in high school. There was a message on one of the Call of Duty Black Ops, and it said, be mindful of all the Christmas noobs. And what did everybody, myself included, proceed to do? Sir Grizz trick shots, fuck y'all, bitches. You're just like absolutely dumping on them.
Xbox kind of low key leaked it on purpose with a photo they did last week where they were, and the fact that there was orange in the photo and the military font they use in the bear logo, everybody was like, "Oh, it's a new Division thing." Xbox wouldn't be releasing a goddamn Division thing. We know there's a new Call of Duty coming this year, and that's like very clearly black. Like Black Ops always uses orange in its fucking marketing stuff, especially the more modern ones. So it's the new Black Ops game it's fucking clear as day that that's what that is.
Right.
So Ubisoft wouldn't be using Xbox specifically just to announce it. They might. I'm not going to say they wouldn't, but like Xbox wouldn't be tweeting it out.
Right. I will say this because Jeremy does bring it up. Like he said, I can't wait to see how they try and frame Call of Duty not being day one when that's been the main draw of Game Pass. I will say this. I can't remember if it was this last year's or this one. One of them was not allowed to be on Game Pass out the gate. Kind of thing.
I don't think it's just the one. Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure it was only one that was specifically like, hey, you can't put this one on Game Pass. And I think it was whatever was. It might have been the last one. I can't remember. Either way, I do agree with the overall sentiment of
MW3. Yeah. Which MW3? Because there's been two at least.
The one that is released since Game Pass existed.
But they both were released when Game Pass existed because that's when GameFly was the thing.
Yeah, they were.
GameFly's not Game Pass.
Yeah, I know, but it's the same concept.
Anyways, the fuck is it say?
It's like saying it's not on Netflix because it wasn't on Blockbuster.com back in the day when they did streaming stuff. That's very different.
Funnily enough, I couldn't remember what GameFly was called today because we have this 22-year-old at one of the places where I work, and we were talking about how Redbox and Blockbuster and Hollywood Video used to be how we used to get like our fucking movies and shit.
Hollywood Video.
He's
Redbox still exists, but they don't have games. Like they still
if you go to West Duluth Holiday, sometimes you can find someone trying to play a game on there. Yeah, it was. I think it was the second MW3.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, it was.
It was last year's Modern Warfare 3, TJ.
Which is not a confusing
Not
sentence.
not 2011's
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 3
Yeah.
that almost killed the franchise.
Not a turn your football pads in and go home and get disappointed MW3. It's a turn your football pads in and go home and get disappointed MW3.
So, what's the point of Game Pass now?
I don't know.
I think it's just to flex you have $11 more. Like,
Yeah, like, so I talked to you guys about this last night. Ironically, this was super ironic conversation because I was using Game Pass. But when I saw the closure thing come out, I was like, why the fuck? Like, if you're going to close one of your best studios, right? Why the fuck am I paying for Game Pass? Like, I personally, I've had Game Pass for a long time. I've probably paid for Game Pass continuously for like 3 years.
yeah.
And I don't use it that much. My wife actually uses it more than I do. I jumped on there to get another try out another Crab's Treasure, which, by the way, very adorable little Dark Souls game if you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was thinking about installing it during this podcast.
Yeah, dude, it's a good game. But also the assist mode in that game. If you really suck at Dark Souls games, you can give your character a gun. And you can just shoot everything.
That's funny.
So anyway, I started blasting. Like,
basically.
Take notes, Miyazaki.
Yeah.
So to kind of answer your question, what's the point of Game Pass? It's the same point that it was previously. It's third-party titles, especially for the non-core gaming audience, because you got your core gaming audience like us that's just going to buy the games we want to buy, right? Like, I have a Game Pass subscription largely because Logan plays Minecraft and we don't actually, other than Xbox 360 Minecraft, we don't own a copy of Minecraft. We play it through Game Pass. But like EA plays on there. You still can't play last year's Madden, but now Jedi Survivor's on Game Pass through it. Like, there's a lot of EA titles that are available through Game Pass.
Well, hold on. What's last year's Madden? Because I think I was just looking at Madden 24.
Yeah.
I'm saying last year's Madden's on it, but this year's, when August rolls around, the new whatever they call this year's, because they're not gonna. I don't know if they're gonna call it Madden 25 because that existed 10 years ago, but whatever.
But it's not gonna stop them.
I don't know. When this year's Madden comes out, though, it won't be out day and date because EA doesn't do that. But come January next year, it will be just like this year's was. Crusader Kings is still on there. You've got City Skylines, you've got Stardew Valley, you've got Pal World, you've got there's it's not the core gaming audience, but there's a lot of people that will happily pay that whatever tier they're paying of Game Pass. Like say it's the $11.99 tier and they have an Xbox, right? Just to play those games. If they have a PC, maybe they're paying for Ultimate or Game Pass PC, whatever it is, just to play those games and not buy them. Like, they'd rather pay the $20 to have Game Pass this month than pay $60 and own the game, even though it makes more sense to do that in the long run.
Well, I mean,
because they're going to get $60 of enjoyment.
Yeah, that's true. But I think the thing that goes against that is the fact that there's been no Game Pass growth since 2021, and they openly admitted it. Yeah. So like they said, like, all the growth numbers that we saw was when they turned Xbox Live Gold into, because it went from like whatever 20 million or whatever, like 23 million to like 34.
I think it was Mr. Matty Plays.
Yeah.
The problem isn't that there's no growth. The problem is that the growth is not to the level that they need it to be. Because if you look at it, like Mr. Matty Plays was saying, oh, it's 5% with this, or it's 1% with this, or 2% with this metric. Like, he's going through it, like looking at it different ways. You can look at Game Pass growth, saying that it's but it's always a positive percentage. It's not shrinking and it's not zero. It's not to the point that it needs to be for them to say it's growing at the rate that is a success, but it is growing. The fucked up thing is we're looking at it the same way that I hate growth metrics in business, because it's not actually how business works, even though it's how every business analyzes everything. Like, every retailer I've ever worked at, every pest control company I've ever worked at, they always want to say, what is our percentage? Well, not group homes, that's different, because nonprofits don't have to look at it this way.
They usually do it in the long run, though. As someone who sits behind those meetings, they do.
But year over year growth is a metric that every KPI report I've ever had to fill out at any job I've ever had, it is number one what we look at. Like the way that we set our scheduling at my current job, we set it off of our growth yesterday versus last year's numbers equal, like there's a whole formula that calculates how many hours I have next week, which is fucking stupid because that's not how that works. But that is,
in order to make your depth chart, you got to check the roster.
It's the same. That's not the same thing, though. It's more like it's more like in order to project your fucking your spending for, let's say, your salary cap. It's kind of the same way that the NFL projects salary cap. They go based off of last year's salary cap, and then they go based off of the percentage growth of the business. Like it's stupid to do business that way, though, because you're not dealing with the problem in front of you. You're looking at what you did last year, which is really bizarre. But it's also, I think that mentality is why fucking Xbox is shutting down all these goddamn studios, because I think Microsoft is shutting down all these fucking studios. I think it's coming from above.
And that might be fair. But part of the reason...
I don't think...
Pro is the opposite of con. What's the opposite of Congress?
What?
He's making a progress joke.
I don't know.
Not high. I took a fat nap earlier. I have amoxicillin I'm going to take when I get off and go to bed because I have strep infection, strep throat. But if pro is the opposite of con...
He's saying progress is the opposite of Congress, but that's...
Progress. Yeah, and then why do you think that for NFL...
Why are you making a government joke?
Hold on. It's not even a good government joke. It's more relating to your point. If you have a salary cap, you're going to spend it. So that way next year's salary cap is bigger.
Yeah, it's like budgets. It's
sick. Yeah. It's ridiculous. And that's what these video game companies are doing. They're monopolizing it.
End of year spending is an awful concept. But but Tim, kind of to your point, if Xbox Game Pass was growing, I guess would we agree that Game Pass is probably in their software department, like how they look at that year over year? Okay, well, without Activision, they're negative 5%. So it's not like as a whole.
That's not the number that I've seen for growth.
I'm not talking about just Game Pass. I'm talking about their software. Their overall software was negative 5%.
Sales
without Activision.
You talking about sales though?
Probably. That's just the number.
That number that would indicate sales to me, and that would make sense because outside of Activision and Hi-Fi Rush, what have they released in the last year? Pentiment didn't sell. Like that makes perfect sense that outside of the Activision acquisition, their sales numbers would be down.
And then on top of that, their hardware sales are down. It was down 30% last year, and it's down an additional 30% this year. So they're just negative across the fucking board.
That leads me to something else, by the way. People are freaking out about that. Console sales are down. Period.
Right.
True.
But not as bad as Xbox.
No, I mean it's dead. As someone, so I've been talking to several people who work at my former employer.
Yeah.
They can't move PS5s. They can't move Series X's. Nobody's buying a Switch because of Switch 2. Nobody's buying an Xbox because they want to see what the mid-gen refresh is. Nobody's buying a PS5 because they want to see what the PS5 Pro looks like. By the way, at the exact same time, everybody in the fucking industry is like, why are we doing a PS5 Pro? We're not even taking full advantage of the PS5 right now. It's wild
about magnetic games. Their company, they have a game coming out. I think that's on the 10th. It's World War II Rebuilder, and it's optimized for Xbox Series X and S. Supported in 10 languages, which, it's got the 4K, and it looks beautiful, but I am on my PC. and I don't know the company. It's on Game Pass, though, and it's coming out soon.
I don't know why I would be worried about it.
The only reason I'm a little troubled is because, we're taking that tour around Europe, but do you think the DLC is going to have any American kind of fallout for, all the testing we did, or no? Is that not, not Howard enough?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't even heard of that game. So we're if we haven't heard of it, and I've been digging down this rabbit hole for the past 24 hours, it's probably not good. It's probably not gonna be great.
It's one of their it's on the homepage of Xbox Wire. It's the very, very tippy bottom.
God, yeah, I can't.
Yeah,
I understand why hardware sales are probably down overall, especially after Nintendo. This is good news. Hey, here's actually some good news. Good news.
Nintendo announced that they're not really announcing anything until this holiday season.
Basically, yeah.
They announced that there's not a fucking announcement, and I went, okay, cool, thanks.
They finally acknowledged the existence that there is a Switch 2 and there is an announcement coming. It won't be in June, right, where they have their next showcase, but they're like, it will happen before the end of fiscal year 2024 or 5 or whatever.
I think it's hilarious that people are still hoping that the console comes this holiday season. Nintendo does releases in the spring. That is when they release their consoles. They've done that.
The Switch.
I think the one exception, I think the original Wii was a holiday launch, but the Wii U springtime, the Switch springtime, the GameCube springtime. They don't do the holiday season releases traditionally for their home consoles.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but that is true. Other thing. Mind-blowing
kind of shit I always had to think about.
Yeah, mind-blowing metric that also came out of Nintendo is that they've made more money during the Nintendo Switch era than they did the prior 35 years combined.
Like, that checks out.
Just fucking raking in the cash, dude.
Sell low-end hardware, a 30% cut of all third-party games, some bangers of games that are cheap to produce because they're targeted at low-end. Most Nintendo first-party games are bangers, but like my point being, like their costs are so down and their profits are so up that while the rest of the industry is firing and laying people off, Nintendo just gave everybody raises.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Switch is the only console of the three that is profitable to sell, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, it's the only one that's not sold at a loss. And Nintendo's done that for a very long time. They use cheap hardware, but it runs well.
Yeah. Wasn't it selling at a loss during the beginning when they first, but then they sold enough? Okay, I can't remember.
No, it's always been like $300 a pop for the base unit, and then the those OLED screens don't cost them an extra $50 per OLED, so they're making money on the OLED. The Switch Lite is gutted in a lot of ways, hardware wise. So yeah, but they are making money on the Switch Lite as well. Like it's even at that $199 price point, they still make money on it.
The SP though,
I wish they would. As there's only 4 people left connected to the entire 3DS network. Just saw that today. Somebody's tracking that.
Wrong.
Oh, I know.
One guy with 4 of them.
Yeah. We're running towards the end of the show here, but we have traditionally called out game companies for shutting down their eShops and their, the PlayStation Store for PS3. Xbox 360 Marketplace is being officially ended in was it July? I'm the one who put it in there. It was June or July.
Yeah, it's a J month.
I think it's July. It's a J month. It's a summer. And as somebody who still uses my Xbox
January
360, by the way, their pricing on they don't support it right now anyway, despite the fact that they're officially ending your ability to use it. Right now, a lot of times a game will be on sale. An Xbox 360 title will be on sale on the Xbox Marketplace, and I will go look at it on my Xbox 360, and it is not on sale on the 360. And so I buy it through my Xbox Series X and download it on my 360.
Oh, wow.
Which is kind of stupid, but I am the minority. I'm the guy who owns every generation of Xbox. I own most generations of PlayStation too, but I am a bit of a fanboy. I'm not gonna lie. It's game preservation is fucking huge. It's a big deal. I said it's not a big deal that Arcane Austin is getting closed, but it's a big deal that Redfall is going to eventually disappear because the offline update that they were going to push out supposedly this month is never coming now because that studio closed before that update was finished. There are games, garbageware games, but there are games on the 360 arcade that you will never be able to play ever again. Armored Core 5 is only available on the Xbox 360 digitally right now. Like Verdict Day, you cannot buy it anywhere else. And by the way, a physical copy is $200. You can get it for like $30 on the Xbox 360 marketplace. So if you want to play an Armored Core game that's not Armored Core 6, that's not as good as Armored Core 6, you can go buy that. It's still a good game. It's still fun.
Just catching strays for no reason.
Well, no, it's Armored Core 5 almost killed the franchise. It was a bad release. Like Verdict Day fixed a lot of those issues, and that's the version I would recommend playing. But it is not as good as 6. 6 is also like just awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the 360 marketplace getting shut down is simultaneously, I guess in the grand scheme, not a huge deal because Xbox has done a great job with backwards compatibility, and most of the games that you would want to play on a 360 are available, but it's not 100%. And a lot of those studios, those smaller indie dev studios, are gone. A lot of the games that are on there are not available anywhere else. A good example of that, there's a Warhammer 40K game. I think it was a spin-off of Space Marine. I think it was it Kill Team? It might have been Kill Team.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
There was Kill Team.
It was like a twin stick shooter.
Yeah, you can't buy it anywhere. I was pulled from Steam years ago. It's not on Steam. The only place you can buy that game is the Xbox 360 marketplace because it's not on current gen. Yeah. And it will be gone forever.
Yeah.
You will be able to re-download it on an Xbox 360 until the last one dies. And other than that, that game's gone. And it wasn't a great game, but I had fun with it. So like,
I did too.
There's a lot of games like that. I don't know if you guys remember the original Xbox indie marketplace that they did, where it was like there was a lacrosse game that I bought that I know TJ played a lot.
I have 2 of them right now.
Yeah, like
you can only play them on Steam or Xbox 360 or Xbox.
Yeah, the one that I played like an old Sega game. It was friggin' great.
Yeah, I still play one of them as a warm up for lacrosse.
It was how I originally played Castle Miner Z, which is a Minecraft clone that was had rifles in it and shit. Yeah. Like that one is available on Steam, but it's gonna be a sad day when that goes away because that means PS3 gone, Wii eShop gone, Xbox 360 Marketplace gone. That's an entire generation. An entire fucking generation of games that are gone.
And back permanently.
You need to still go to them.
Had the best single-player game of all time.
Those brick and mortar stores are slowly disappearing.
Right. I actually went to the GameStop today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was looking for some games. I didn't end up picking anything up today, but yeah, I definitely went in today because we were just talking about it last night, and I was it's literally right on the way home, and I was like, skirt. My wife's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm going in here real quick. Like, leave me alone."
Just quick 20-minute adventure, just in and out.
It was like 15. I took Nora in there with me. It was good.
Hell yeah.
Jeremy did also say Xbox is sitting on so much IP that I'll never see the light of day again. It sucks. Yes, it does suck because we all thought they would start seeing the light of day when they had all these studios, and then they said, "You know what? Get fucked, studios. We're just gonna close you. Instead, we're gonna buy you up." And even if you produce well, fuck you. Like
that's exactly what Fortnite did with Disney. But do we love throwbacks around here? I love that, Cody, when you were talking about I don't know if it was TechCrunch's article with Nintendo confirming the Switch 2 on the way. Did you notice? I don't know if you have that one pulled up, but the picture they chose was Travis Scott during the Fortnite concert in 2019 or 2020. And
so bizarre choice.
And it's 2024, and they're showing a full-grown person's hands on a regular Switch with a slight little fucking hitch in the bubble on the screen protector of Travis Scott watching Travis Scott on Fortnite. Because it's one of the rare variants of Travis Scott. Now, both those skins will never come back to the eStore or the Fortnite store ever again.
Yeah.
I have both of them because I'm that big of a fucking game preservationist.
There you go. Shit.
Somebody's got to.
Yeah.
Jeremy,
it's worth more than my entire PC, unfortunately.
And Jeremy also updated a better version of my meme of who killed Hannibal or whatever. I'll post it in the chat here in a little bit, but yeah, it's this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
speaking of updating your memes, I was working on before I took a nap. So nobody who's not on YouTube is gonna know about this, but the thumbnail that you made,
yeah,
where it's the "This is
Yeah.
fine" with the Xbox logo.
Yeah.
This is fine.
I was working on a version where it's Phil Spencer's face instead.
Oh yeah, that probably would have been good.
Yeah, I don't have it finished yet. I'm probably gonna replace it later, but like
That's
I was
fine.
like, that's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everybody hates him right now.
The crazy thing is, like, Mike Ibarra, the Blizzard CEO that got fired.
Yeah.
Was that also this year? I forget. It's just so much shit.
I think it was last year.
Either way, like Phil's the guy that fired him.
Yeah.
And he tweeted out today like that Phil's a good dude and all this other shit. And I just want to say nobody is questioning that Phil Spencer is a good guy. Like Phil Spencer has done a lot of things, has spearheaded a lot of things at Xbox that are really good. The backwards compatibility thing, getting Game Pass available in more places, the whole push this is a criminally underutilized thing, but Xbox has their Play Anywhere initiative where you buy a game on Xbox and if it's available on PC, you have an entitlement to it through the Xbox app on PC. Like there are many good things that he has done, and no one is questioning that he's a good dude, but he still has done some shit that. Who was the other Phil that also killed Stadia, that almost killed Xbox? What was his name? Phil.
It was my dad.
Not my dad.
Not dad.
Phil Harrison. Phil Harrison.
Phil Harrison.
Jeremy
Phil
is
Harrison.
on point.
Thank you, Jeremy. Phil Harrison almost fucking killed Xbox. Did kill Stadia, the worst gaming executive track record in history.
It's fucking revenge for the war. The Fallout War, like Obsidian War. You know that whole. That whole debacle. I think that wasn't that the time frame?
Xbox had nothing to do with that at the time.
Yeah, no, that was Stadia.
When the whole
EA too. That's good. That's a good point.
He almost killed EA too. Like he has the worst track record of any gaming executive ever.
Everything that you Google is just like
Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer has an overall pretty good track record at Xbox. However, this is a big black eye for him, and it's not the first one. And
oh my god!
There's a certain point where
Google.
Hang on. Hey, I'm not doing that. Not right now.
Calling a stepfather a motherfucker because that's Phil Harrison's. The Shaq's stepdad is Phil Harrison. Sergeant Phil Harrison, different guy. Different guy.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay. All right. Hold on. I do got to push back a little bit on the Phil Spencer's made like good decisions because I didn't say he's made a ton of good decisions. I said that he has a fairly okay track record for gaming CEOs, especially in comparison to Phil Harrison. But that I got sidetracked before I could finish my sentence. Okay.
But this is a big black eye, and it's one of many. And there are things that at a certain point, it doesn't matter how good a dude you are. It doesn't matter that you're the gamer guy with the Nintendo Switch on your shelf every time that you show up. It doesn't matter that you spent $67 billion to acquire Activision and told everybody it was going to make Xbox and Game Pass stronger. You also spent $3 billion on Bethesda and did the same thing, and now you're shutting down those $7 billion.
Yeah.
So in total, $74 billion in acquisitions just between those two businesses alone, and you've got dick all to show for it, and you're shuttering studios now.
Well, like to continue that, Jez Corden posted basically that he's never seen trust in Xbox be this low before. Destin said he hasn't seen it be this low since 2013 when they were announcing the Xbox One. And Jez was saying that's going to take a gigantic effort by Xbox to like win this trust back. But the number one way to win trust back from gamers is to put out good games. And unfortunately for fucking Xbox, what's one thing that they've been really fucking mad about this generation is putting out really good fucking games. Their flagship, like Halo or whatever, like all that shit. This generation has not been good. It's been okay.
Nope.
It's been okay.
Hyperscape.
Oh yeah,
It was mid.
Isn't that Ubisoft?
It at best.
That's Ubisoft.
That's Ubisoft.
And it was mid. And it was mid.
It was mid.
That's not relevant though.
Yeah. But
that's why it's relevant. It's mid. It's irrelevant.
But yeah, man, like fucking like Halo was okay. It got to the initial reception
Halo's
of it
pretty good.
was okay, and then it had a really bad fall, and now it's like recouped all that, but it's like too late because the sentiment's gone at this point.
And they're still not doing any new single player content for their game that was supposed to last 10 years. By the way, why did Halo Infinite turn into Windows 10? It's the last, Windows 10 was the last Windows you were ever going to need. That was such a big thing. Then 11 came out and they just walked that back. Halo Infinite. Oh, this is going to last for 10 years. They're already ending any single player development. Any other development is eventually going to cease, and they're moving on to the next project. What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's just been I don't see how they really come back for this. Like, Tim, we've talked about this, right? And I've come around on this a little bit, but Jeremy brought it up earlier too. They're talking about coming out with a handheld. Like, who's gonna want to buy the handheld if you don't like the games that are coming out with it? Like, I know you will. I just think it's gonna be such a minority kind of thing.
It's the Surface team. The crazy part to me is it's the Microsoft Surface team that's in charge of the handheld. Yeah. So the theory that everybody has off of that is that it is a handheld PC that will run Xbox games as well. Which would be dope, but also like I believe it when I see it, because also I remember all the rumors that Steam was coming to Xbox One 7 years ago. Yeah. And now there's a rumor with that again that Epic's coming to Xbox. Will Steam come to Xbox? Yeah. But we still haven't seen anything official on any of that.
No, like it's just.
And will we?
I think not. Summer Games Fest, I think we're gonna see some stuff, and the Xbox has their presentation around the same time. Yeah, but like what is that? June? We got the next month and change where everybody's just gonna hate Xbox. Like,
and unless Booty's gonna be out here just making it worse.
Yeah, unless Hellblade is like Game of the Year level, like everybody's just gonna shit on Xbox all the way leading up to that, and so they're gonna have to blow everybody's mind. And you wanna know what? I don't think they're going to. I don't like what track record is out there to show that they're gonna come out here and be like, look at these fantastic games we got coming out. Like,
ain't it amazing how quickly Sony just laid something up for Xbox to be the good guy.
Oh, 100%.
And once again, Xbox shits the bed.
Yep.
Because so with the whole Helldivers thing, and Sony did make it right, but they took a huge black eye, and now here's Xbox going like, oh, we'll do you one better. You know what, Sony? We'll just relieve all that pressure for you. We'll just immediately we'll get the public's eye over on us. We'll do you a solid. Why are you doing them solids doing this now? It is literally every time. It's even when Flying Jim Ryan was like the whole we believe in generations thing. I don't remember what Xbox did, but Xbox did something within a week that made me go, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. It never fails. I don't know. So basically, at this point, nobody knows what the fuck Xbox is doing. Nobody knows if they want to be a streaming service or if they want to go back to the old model of purchase, like having you purchase your games. Nobody knows. The only thing that they do well is make this fucking Elite controller. This fucking controller is banger.
Bro, I got controllers. Banger. Listen, we all got our controllers. By the way, this is by far my favorite controller in my collection now.
Oh, you're Starfield.
Hang on, I gotta turn off the blur. It's my Fallout one. Yeah. I don't know the way that Xbox is going. I don't know that I'm gonna get a 30th anniversary edition to replace my 20th.
I still have my 20th box, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't, because I got it while I was at GameStop. Some guy actually was returning it and was like, "Oh, it's broken," and I was like, "It's not broken." He had a plan on it. He was redeeming a plan, so I moved it back into sellable inventory and immediately bought it. Because I was like, "It's fine."
Yeah, like hold on, there's nothing.
Like I hooked it. There was no stick drift. I was like, "What's wrong with it?" He goes, "It just doesn't work," and I'm like, "It
I know
works."
What's wrong with it? It ain't got no gas in it.
Maybe the battery died, and he just doesn't know that it's not a rechargeable.
I'm just excited for new Dragon Ball Z coming out.
Hey,
New Tenkaichi.
Well, no, it's not Z, but yeah, it's still Dragon Ball.
That game looks baller.
it does.
Also, I don't know if Lapras fell during the podcast or during my name, but you can see that the landlords did a bad job. Did a bad job fixing the ceiling. That was leaking for 2 years because evil monopolies could suck my ass. But yeah, that's
right.
Yeah, that's why we don't know where Xbox is going, and I don't care to put Lapras back up there because I'll just fucking catch one.
Yeah. Jeremy brought up one last thing. It's I forgot to bring this up while I was ranting about Xbox earlier. You also not understanding how tone deaf Xbox really is. Right after they announced that they laid off those 4 studios, they came out with a new controller that was like a fire theme, and the tagline was "Feel the burn."
Oh shit, dude! For the "This is fine" thing,
changed it today. They changed it today.
Instead of doing Phil Spencer's face, I need to do that controller.
Yeah. Could you imagine?
Shit,
Could
bro.
you imagine being an evil corporation with political agendas? Nah, I would never. I think they would call that a monopoly.
Bro,
there are no good guy billion-dollar corporations, so
not against Vault Tech.
Yeah, man, it's just like there's been so much ineptitude. It's hard to put into an hour podcast, which is why we're 13 minutes over. Like
we're always over. We've never been under, and we have never been an hour. We are always at least 15 minutes over.
I mean, that's
what's up, brother?
We have opinions.
Yeah, I was born 3 weeks early, and I was still 1 ounce shy of 11 pounds.
What the fuck?
Yeah, could you imagine?
I thought you said you weren't high.
Not yet. That's an outdoor activity, gentlemen.
Oh man. All right. Well, I think that's a good spot to end. This has been Our Life in Pixels. We are here every Wednesday at 10 Central-ish. A little bit before, a little bit behind, normally a little bit behind because we always have tech issues. We talk about video games, and we also like to play video games. If you like what you saw here, we played Content Warning last week, and it's a blast. You can check that out over on YouTube or the VOD on Twitch, maybe still if it's still there. Anyways, we love you. We'll be back next week. Bye.
Bye.